create a culture of allowing people to disagree with you. I think the biggest correlation that I've seen between startups not becoming places where smart people want to work and like something going wrong is it becomes a place where people are afraid to speak up the truth.
I love what you said about being delulu. In terms of like doing something phenomenal, you have to be a bit delusional.
We believe that the core technology that we're building is being able to find patterns in media and map it to actual data. We've raised one pre-seed round. That was a $1.5 million round.
Okay.
That was pre-product. There's no universe where you're sitting and watching 1,000 ads and like noting down what's happening, etc. Those brands tend to not do it at all, which means that they're leaving money on the table. So we were one of the few first companies who said, hey, we can do this. We can extract like metadata from like your ads and we can map it to performance data.
But without having a big sales teams on ground, how were you able to like close deals faster?
You should have competition because it kind of validates like that what you're doing is valuable. It's very unlikely that you're this 1 in 8 billion people who is the only person who's thought of this.
You are an angel investor. You've been a product leader. You've mentored a lot of product managers. What advice do you have for product managers who would want to be founders? Today's guest has scaled growth for India's most loved apps and is now building AI agents that transform how brands analyze and optimize for creative performance. From Hike to Dunzo FamPay, and now as the co-founder of Segwise.ai, he's driving the vision to automate creative analytics and supercharge ad performance. Welcome, Brijesh. It's a pleasure to have you on the AI for India podcast.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. Like, hopefully this will be a fun chat and people can get something out of this.
Definitely, I'm sure it will be. And Brijesh, you've had such a dynamic career from like being the product leader at Dunzo, then scaling growth at FamPay, and now being a AI founder, right? What was that one defining moment that sort of pushed you into entrepreneurship?
Actually, Segwise is my third startup.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Hilariously enough, there have been 2 more attempts before this. I think the single biggest thing that pushed me into the universe of startups is Bits Pilani. I was part of this group called the Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership, and we used to organize business plan competitions. We used to invite guests who are founders to come speak. And if you're part of the organizing committee, you end up sort of spending more time with these people backstage,
getting more
etc.
inspired.
Yeah, so I think all of that sort of made starting up feel very normal, and it didn't feel. And I think that's the delusion you need to be a founder, right?
Correct. Yeah.
If you actually go into the depths of how hard it is, then you will never start up. But I think Pilani and CL specifically gave me that nudge to make it feel like, hey, this is something that a lot of people can do and should do. And that's how I think I ended up in this journey. And this is the latest attempt of me trying to create something that people will find value in.
Oh, that's amazing. I love what you said about being delulu. In terms of like doing something phenomenal, you have to be a bit delusional.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks for validating that. Okay, so and like before working on Segwise AI, you have been a leader in early stage startups and also growth stage companies. How did that sort of impact your leadership style?
I don't know if the stage of the company impacted my leadership style as much, but the kind of people that you end up meeting in early stage companies, I think, do end up influencing it. Because if they've joined an early stage company, that also means that they're a specific type of a person, right? Like, I don't think these are the kind of people who would love to give you more ownership. These are the kind of people who are very happy when somebody young is stepping up and doing things like finding insights, trying new stuff. So I think that has sort of become like my persona. Like, my leadership style is constantly to expect people to be curious, keep finding new insights about what is working and what is not working.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest sort of leadership sort of influence that I've gotten is to sort of create a culture of allowing people to disagree with you. I think the biggest correlation that I've seen between startups not becoming places where smart people want to work and like something going wrong is it becomes a place where people are afraid to speak up the truth. People start agreeing with like the founders, people start agreeing with their leadership. And when that happens, it's a recipe for disaster in the future.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest leadership sort of, I would say, like takeaway that I've done from all of these startup stints is to create this environment where anybody can, even an intern should be able to walk up to me and say, hey, I think this is wrong, here is why. And encourage them to be more curious, go find more sort of such counterintuitive things.
Yeah.
And if you build that culture, then I think long term you're a better company.
For sure.
So I think that's my leadership style, where I try to make them very comfortable to walk up to me and say, you're wrong, or this is wrong, or this is something new that I have found.
And encourage that dialogue, right?
Yeah,
so
like
amazing.
the more you do that, the less likely it is that there is something going horribly
that those
wrong.
gaps are like overseen, right? So
exactly.
That's amazing.
So I think that's the biggest takeaway from like all of these trends.
Okay, that's so cool. And I would love to understand more about what Segwise AI does, what you guys are building, creative analytics AI agents. They're a very exciting concept.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, would you please share a little bit more on what Segwise does and how it's helping brands?
Yeah. So Segwise is basically an AI agent that watches all your ads.
Okay.
And maps.
Any specific platform, ad platform?
So we support
agnostic?
over like 10 ad platforms.
Okay.
Most of our customers in India tend to advertise on Facebook, Meta, Google. And most of our US customers tend to spend also on TikTok and a bunch of other ad networks. But we support like a lot of them. But the core value prop is that our agent will sit and watch all your ads.
Okay.
It literally takes down notes on what is happening in the ad, what is happening in the hook scene, what's happening, who are there in the ad, what are they saying, what problems are being highlighted, what benefits are being highlighted, etc. And then maps that to performance data. Okay. So you're getting actual performance data from the ad network as well. So when you map all of this to actual performance data, you will start seeing patterns. That, hey, when we say XYZ in the first 3 seconds, our hook rate is much better. When we feature XYZ kind of people in our ads, our ROAS is better.
Oh, nice.
When we mention benefit A versus benefit B, benefit A works better. So all of this sort of leads them to make better ads because ads or the creative asset has become like the biggest lever to improve your ROI on ad spends. So we help them make better ads because we're able to tell them based on all of this information that, hey, this is working, so do more of this. This is not working, don't do this.
Oh, awesome. And do you like also enable them to like run A/B tested ads or?
So we actually ensure that the hit rate of your A/B test goes up.
Okay.
So an A/B test is based on some hypothesis, right? Most of the time what happens is that the hit rate of an ad is very low. So when you run 10 tests, maybe one works. Our job is to ensure that if you run 10 tests, like 10 of them work.
Okay.
Because it's all based on actual data and it's less driven by intuition.
Got it. Cool. And can you like share an example where you helped a customer in terms of improving their ROI or reducing customer acquisition cost?
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of these very specific things that we have found on behalf of our customers that have worked for them. One of the examples I have is we work with, let's say, one of the largest puzzle games in the world. And what we sort of help them find is that when they say, like, hey, like our games can be played without Wi-Fi, they tend to work better. Ads that mention that upfront were giving them a lot more ROI than ads that didn't. And this was an insight that they didn't know because for this to be proven, somebody had to watch all the ads, figure out when this was mentioned, tag the timestamp of when this was mentioned, and map that to performance data. and they run thousands of ads, right? So nobody could have imagined doing this work manually. But since we had an agent, it did all of this work for them, and they were able to figure this insight out, and they made more ads in the future with that mentioned upfront, so their ROAS sort of goes up. So there's just one example, like all brands have very specific hypotheses on what they believe works and what doesn't work. Our job is to just help them validate or invalidate their ideas.
Got it.
Which was not possible before, because that would involve somebody actually watching all your ads.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and was that happening? Have you seen that happen in the traditional sense that people do that?
Yes.
And write
so
all of
the whole idea for Segwise actually comes from me having seen this happen manually.
Okay, got
like
it.
the best performance marketers in the world were already doing this, but begrudgingly doing it. Nobody likes doing this.
Very manual intensive, like time intensive.
Yes, and very prone for mistakes. Very annoying to do.
Got it.
Nobody wants to do this job.
Yeah.
And because it's so annoying, the frequency of how often you would do this would also be very low. So what would typically happen, let's say in like in my team, right? We would all gather once a month. Like we would all share this grunt work, do it together, and then sort of do this once in a month, right? But in that month, you've lost ad spends, right? Because you're doing this once in a month, like for an entire month, you've spent on something that you shouldn't be doing. You've made up ads that you shouldn't have made. So the frequency of doing this becomes a lot lower if it was not automated. It also becomes impossible for some brands to do, because if they're so large, if you're pumping out like 1,000 new videos every month, there's no universe where you're sitting and watching 1,000 ads and like noting down what's happening, etc., etc. So those brands tend to not do it at all, which means that they're leaving money on the table.
Got it. And do you think like there are other use cases for this? Obviously, ads is one, but I could think like with the creator economy out there, are there any other use cases?
We believe that the core technology that we're building is being able to find patterns in media and map it to actual data.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Ads is one use case where there's media and there's data. UGC content is another like specific area, right? Like this podcast, right?
Exactly.
Whether me showing up on this podcast was good for your views or not can potentially be analyzed. Like what kind of people should you bring on the podcast, etc. Even like content on Instagram, where brands are now pushing organic content and shooting for virality.
Exactly.
Like we can now find patterns in like, hey, what has a higher correlation with virality versus what doesn't. So yeah, it's just the core technology is capturing media metadata and mapping that to data. Ads is our first use case, and it'll probably be our use case for the next few years. But there are lots of other places where the same thing can be done.
For sure. Yeah, that's amazing. To like with this creator and content first economy, it's so like interesting to look at that aspect. Thank you for sharing that, Brijesh. Another thing I would love to understand is like most of your customers, clients are in the US, right? Most of your revenue is being driven from there while your teams are in Bangalore. What sort of advantages or challenges has this like global first model brought you?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's great. Like if you can make this work, there's nothing better. I think there's a lot of things get painted with like a very broad brush that hey, if you're selling to the US, you should be in the US. That's the only way to sell to the US, etc.
Okay.
But I think we're in this era where a lot of enterprises are very curious about use cases being powered by AI.
Yeah.
Right. So they're very open to having conversations with anyone who's working on a use case that could potentially help them. Right. So I think the problem is not geography.
Okay.
The problem is usually you're working on something that nobody is interested in.
Yes.
Right. So we have found that if you are working on a problem that is actually like something that is top priority for them, you can reach out to people sitting wherever and they will respond and they will get on calls to sort of hear you out. And even if you're physically present in that location, it's not like they're coming to your office, right? Or you're going to their office. Most conversations now are happening on Zoom. So that doesn't change for them. So they're super now open to like having conversations with anyone, anywhere in the world, as long as they're working on something that they're genuinely looking to solve.
Got it. And was it like why I hear a lot of US, India, GTM advice in terms of, okay, you have to be in the US, you have to actually go and see how that economy market works. It's probably more in terms of like understanding the mindset of people there or companies there in that market. How did you guys crack that? Or was that even an issue?
I feel like that becomes definitely a challenge if you're selling into a persona that you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? I'm selling to me.
Huh.
I was the guy who was doing all of this work in the previous companies that I worked in.
Yeah.
So when I talk to the other person on the call, we almost start with a rant.
Yeah.
Because we know what's going wrong in the current universe of performance marketing, etc. So I think, but if let's say I was selling to like restaurant owners in the US, I would have to physically be there.
Yes.
Because there's no universe where I'm able to like understand their problems without observing them, meeting them, talking to them, etc. But if you are selling to somebody who you deeply understand for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
It could be because you did that job. It could be because like you know a lot of people who've done that job.
Yeah.
You've basically assimilated that role and that problem a lot for whatever reason, then you can do it. But in places where that's not true, it becomes a challenge, which is why I don't like painting it with like one broad brush, saying regardless of what you're doing,
exactly,
you have to be
Context
physically
is
present there.
King,
Right? So Lovable is a great AI company, probably one of the fastest growing AI companies. They're all sitting in like Paris
Sweden,
or France or like all over Europe at this point. So yeah, like you can build AI companies from wherever. Israel again has a very thriving SaaS ecosystem where they sell to the US. So I don't think it's that. I think it's more about, do you know and understand your persona really, really well? If yes, you can sit wherever. If you don't, then it makes a lot of sense for you to go and spend time there. Not because the sale won't happen if you're not there. You're doing that largely to understand who they are, what their problems are. The feedback loop becomes faster.
For sure. No, that is, I think that is super enlightening. Another thing that sort of brings to my mind is you've been successful. We'll talk about the numbers after. But were there other competitors that you came across who are doing something similar, and probably they're placed before you in the US market or like globally? Is that something you came across, or are you very, I would say, specialized?
I think for all startups, it helps to be first to market or close to first to market. Multimodal capabilities that allow us to extract metadata from media kind of became reliable like 5 to 6 months ago. Right? This was not possible. So anybody who is competing with me is also as old as me, like from a startup age perspective. So we were one of the few first companies who said, hey, we can do this.
Okay.
We can extract like metadata from like your ads and we can map it to performance data. But it's actually kind of true, like that you should have competition because it kind of validates like that what you're doing is valuable. And because if something is valuable, it's very unlikely that you're this 1 in 8 billion people who is the only person who's thought of this. So we like that there is competition. We also like the fact that some of the category leaders are talking about this problem. Because as a startup, you don't have the resources to create a category. Right? You can capture market share, but you can't create. But it's the great world where the market leader is talking about the problem and making people aware that you should do this, and you just go in and say, I have a better solution than them. So that's the universe where you need to operate as a startup. So I think broadly what I would say is that competition is okay. That's not a problem. But if they have established a brand for that category, then it's a little difficult as a startup.
Correct.
So which is why most startups tend to be first to market. Like a lot of startups are first to market. It's not to say that you can't be second to market, third to market and still win. You can undercut them on price, you can do a bunch of other stuff, but it's very helpful to be first to market. It just makes everything else like sort of easy.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I think this next question, you've answered this a little bit, but without having a big sales teams on ground, how were you able to like close deals faster?
Yeah, I think one of the helpful things that have happened to us is that we've realized that enterprise sales is a very relationship driven game. Right? Like a large public company will not get on a call with you, regardless of whether you're there, you're here, wherever, unless they know you. Right? So you need to find people who have those relationships and get them on your side. Whether as a consultant, whether as an advisor, whether as a person on the cap table, you need to find these people who are part of that industry that you're looking to sell into. And they will make your first X introductions. Right? They are coming on that call not because of you. They find your product interesting. That's definitely helpful. But they're also coming on the call because XYZ person has requested for them to come on a call. Right? And a lot of times that first meeting happens purely based on that relationship. And either you've built that relationship by being there and working in that industry, or you can sort of get that relationship. You can hire that relationship. Right? By getting these people on your side and incentivizing them to sort of make you successful. So I think you can short circuit that.
Got it.
And I think a lot of Indian founders should be very generous in how they compensate such people who can unlock these relationships for you.
Got it. Yeah. No, I think that makes perfect sense. It's very valuable advice. I haven't heard this advice before, so thank you for sharing. And also would love to understand, Segwise has reached 0 to 250K in ARR in just 4 months, right? How, like, what were 2 to 3 key levers that helped you do that?
I mean, yeah, this version of the product is like 4 months old and we are like growing really quickly. And I think the biggest sort of unlock has been like we're working on an actual important problem. I think founders tend to attribute very, very like a lot of other reasons which are not important. Like I think when something is not working, you're constantly trying to find like hundreds of reasons why as to it's not working. But in retrospectively, because there have been versions of the product that didn't work for us, we have realized that the most important growth lever is working on a problem that is actually important to them. Most of the time, when something is not growing, it's because in the persona that you're trying to sell into, it's not on their top 3 in terms of is this an actual problem in my life? Or like it's a problem, but how important is it? Right? So you need to find a problem that is important where they want to solve it, they want to solve it now, and they are willing to pay you for it. Right? So I think it's that. It's the iterations towards finding such a problem is where we see that most of us fumble, like so did we. And whenever you sort of unlock that and find that problem, everything falls in place. Because channels for growth are finite. Right? Like what will you do as a B2B company? You'll attend events, you'll email people, you'll post content on LinkedIn. That has not changed dramatically, right? Maybe there is a new channel like TikTok, which you can use, but enterprise customers are not buying software for thousands of dollars because they saw a TikTok reel. Maybe that works for a sub $50 product, right? But for largely for enterprise, the channels have remained the same. So there's not a lot of things you can do there. The only thing that you can do is who are you reaching out? That is one iteration that you can keep tweaking. And what are you saying is the problem that you'll solve for them. So for anybody whose engine is not firing, I would just run experiments on these 2 things. Like, are we talking to the right person? Or are we not talking about the right problem for this person? Just iterate on these 2 variables until a lot of people start replying back to you saying, I'm interested and I want to have a conversation. That's the first sign that you've hit something that is working or has some potential to work.
Correct. Yeah. See, like I think next question is very interesting. In the sense you talked about potential and helping like your customers see value in like the problem you're solving for them. did you have this sort of experience when you were raising funds? Or coming to the question, have you raised funds? If you would like to share, and how did you show like value to VCs or whoever you've raised funds from?
We've raised one pre-seed round.
Okay.
That was a $1.5 million round.
Okay.
That was pre-product.
Okay.
We didn't have a product. What we had was a broad thesis that, hey, look, growth, the parent company is actually called Growth Duty.
Okay. And was this like before the winter?
Yeah.
What do you say? What is the term right now? A funding freeze or funding winter? Was it before or after?
This is 23.
23, okay.
And I think that was when, I don't know, it was neither here nor there. It was okay.
It was okay, yeah.
We were very clear that what we want to do is infuse AI into growth workflows.
Okay.
We didn't know exactly what we would do.
Yeah.
Because the LLMs were also evolving at such a rapid, and they continue to do so. And as we record, like today, Sam Altman is supposed to launch GPT-5, and nobody really knows what that is going to do.
About, yeah.
So I think the models were changing so rapidly that all we could say is that we will use the best capabilities of the models and make doing growth work easy. That's it. So we're locking onto the persona. We're locking onto the person who is doing growth work today, and we will figure out use cases for them where AI is able to reliably help them.
Okay. Yeah.
And when you thought about this, like, okay, what could AI do reliably in 2023? It was data work. Because you needed structured data for it to not hallucinate and all of that stuff, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So as and when capabilities have gone up, we've also sort of looked for, okay, can we do something better today? Which was not possible 3 months ago.
Okay.
And I think that mindset needs to continue for all AI founders for the next, I don't know how many years, right?
Yeah.
Every 3 months, constantly checking if this version of your company is the best version that it can be based on what the models are capable of doing.
Yeah.
Is something that I'm constantly thinking about. I don't think we would have hit upon this use case if we were not doing that.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think that's kind of what I would sort of do even now, and we continue to do that today.
Wow, yeah. I think, yeah, that's very, very insightful. Do you, one short question, do you have any sort of segment or sector inclination in terms of the clients you serve, or is it agnostic?
No, we service I would say, are the power users of performance marketing.
Okay.
That's our TG right now.
Got it.
And if you think about who is a power user of performance marketing, currently the answer would be D2C brands, free-to-play games, and subscription apps. These are all apps that tend to acquire majority of their customers through digital channels.
Yeah.
And they're paying a lot of money to Facebook and Google and TikTok and a bunch of ad networks to do that.
Yeah.
And whose businesses are driven by this acquisition. Right.
Yeah.
So those are the businesses that we work with. And they just so happen to be D2C brands, games, and subscription apps because that's their primary way of acquiring users. And because of that, they spend a lot of money on ads.
Now that you mentioned something interesting came to mind, that you mentioned that Meta, Google, these are the spaces where these ads are being run, right? Do you think at some point these big tech will have a flavor of the features that you are building?
I think most large ad networks want to automate as much as possible. They want to get to a world where you give them money and they spend stuff on your behalf.
Yeah.
The reason why that's not possible is that a single ad network does not have full context of what's working and what's not working.
Correct.
So Facebook has context of I showed an ad. Google has context of I showed you an ad. You might have bought this ad from the Google ad. You might have clicked on the Google ad. Yeah. But the Facebook ad also had an impact in convincing you to eventually click on the Google ad. So you need a third party that is sitting on top of all the ad networks to figure out, okay, what are the worth of all of these impressions that I'm giving my customers, right? Because nobody buys in one shot. Right?
Exactly. You need to have at least 5 touch points, right? To make a sale.
Yeah, 5 to 8 impressions is what apparently people need to get convinced to sort of buy something. And those impressions are not happening on a single ad network. You might see a YouTube ad, then you're scrolling on Instagram, you see an ad there, and then You finally make the purchase, let's say on Google search. So, which is why for a single ad network, they don't have the full context to do it. What they might do is that, hey, like I'll help you make creatives. They'll do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's super difficult for them right now to figure out what is the right creative for you, because they don't have the full context of what creatives are driving true purchase and what is not driving purchase. There's a separate category of software called attribution software that does that work. And we sit on top of them.
Okay. Your life side does that, is what I know. Attribution.
Like a bunch of companies do that, like AppsFlyer does that. Singular, AppsFlyer, Adjust on the mobile side. On the D2C side, you have like companies like Triple Whale and Northbeam and a bunch of others.
Okay.
So you need this layer of software that literally mediates between all the ad networks, right? Where I'm gathering information and sort of figuring it out. Which is why we're not worried about the ad networks as much as we're worried about the mediation guys. The in-between layer folks are the best place to sort of enter our category.
The attribution guys that you mentioned. Okay.
So yeah, we compete with them.
With them, yeah.
So
to be better.
Yeah, so our product has to be better. Something has to be like a lot better for our customers.
Would you want to get in that arena?
Not any time soon, because there's a lot of work to be done just to do what we are doing. We would rather be like very, very good at telling you what ad to make and perfect that. And then there are different paths from there, right?
Exactly.
Like maybe we get into making the ad. Maybe we go below. Like that we'll figure out as and when we get there. But at least for the next few years, we are focused on making, like, telling you what to make is our current priority.
No, that makes sense. Thanks for sharing, Brijesh. Okay, now something about like what fueled the fast growth that you guys have achieved, right? So you drove immense growth with Dunzo FamPay. What sort of playbooks do you think also apply to AI startups from there?
I don't think the fundamentals of growth have changed with AI, right?
Yeah.
In my head, everything becomes a funnel. That concept has not changed.
Yeah.
So basically, when you're trying to grow, you need to get in front of your prospect. The prospect has to be the right prospect. Then it's all up to your messaging. Like, what did they see? And based on that, they will like do whatever it is that you want them to do. In our case, it's reply to our email or like sign up to our like lead generation form. It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't really change as much with AI, right? Whether you're building an AI product or whether you're building a UPI app for kids or you're building a 10-minute grocery app.
Yeah.
That fundamental concept of, is this the right person? And am I talking about my product in the right way?
Yeah.
Is actually the biggest thing that you can do for your growth. Everything after that is very tactical. Today, you might use channel 1. Tomorrow, that might become channel 2. And you adapt to that, right? Like, I have, like, let's say, previously, I did only a lot of consumer work. Where my primary channels were actually Facebook, Google, and all the ad networks. That's where we used to sort of run ads, get users, do referral programs, etc. But here, my primary channel has become email and LinkedIn content. But the way in which we approach growth has not changed. We keep experimenting on who are we reaching out to, and we change anything about the person that we are reaching out to. So that's in the Facebook world, that would have been targeting. And then there is messaging. So what is my email subject? What is my email body? What is my LinkedIn post talking about? In that world, that was an ad.
Exactly, yeah.
So that has not really changed, and which is why I haven't found it really difficult to switch from here to here. There is a learning curve in learning how the channels work. Like email operates. It has some tactical details about like what do you need to do to ensure that your deliverability is very high.
Yeah.
What should you do and what should you not do? Each of those channels will have their own nuances, but that you can hire somebody to help you with. And we have done that. We've hired people to help us learn about these channels faster. But that'll take you like 6 months. Like in 6 months, you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then you're again back to like, who am I talking to and what am I saying?
Yeah.
So we analyze these funnels exactly like how I used to analyze our ad funnels.
Got it. And like when you talk about funnels, like in your previous work and right now with Segwise, Are there any like tools, mixed panel amplitude, sort of like that are funnel tools? Have you used those, or how do you do that?
Uh, yes, but most of our work today happens on Google Sheets.
Okay.
Because again, like the volume of data in a B2B context is much lower. Like in a
Correct.
consumer world,
It's
it's like thousands of users,
blown up,
etc. So we need like more sophisticated tools.
Huh.
But our stage we get away with like Google Sheet.
Yeah. That's perfect.
But from an analytics perspective, I think it's the rigor is more important than the tool. Like again, like this is something that I feel that if you really want to be analytical, you can be analytical, and a tool is not really like a good excuse to say I can't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we currently are doing fine with Google Sheets as our main analytics tool.
No, that I think that's a great simple way to do it at this point, as you said.
Yeah,
Right?
and I'm sure it'll break. It's already kind of breaking.
Yeah.
So somebody in my team is now figuring out how to do the next stage of growth where we might need a CRM.
Correct.
Because sheets are now becoming chaotic.
But
you arrive at that problem then.
Correct.
The intent to be analytical and data driven was always there.
Yeah.
The tool might change,
Yes.
and that's okay.
No, that's perfect. And like, since you guys are building agents for your clients, what sort of like agents are you using to automate your own work?
Yeah, I mean, we use a bunch of agents for both our sales and marketing.
Okay.
And of course, all our engineers are using like agents as well to sort of create software.
Yeah.
But I think the sales and marketing use cases are the ones that are more interesting. Like, what can we do to sort of, again, like figure out who should we reach out? Like, can we automate finding more information about the customer that we are about to reach out to, so that we can figure out if they're the right person?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? Like, can we go find out how much they're spending on ads? Can we go find out how many ads are they doing every month? This is all information that's on the internet.
Yeah.
But somebody would have to manually go and do that research.
That out,
but now we have built up small agents to sort of help us out with some of these tasks. Awesome. Same thing in marketing as well. Like we are soon, next week, we'll launch an ad which is made completely in VO3.
Okay.
It's an ad for the company and it's insanely high production. Awesome. We didn't have to like do any kind of fancy setup. Yeah. It took us like a day and a half to get done. Wow. So I think these are the places where we see the best ROI for like using AI. Honestly, I think every person now should have that mentality to see, okay, I'm doing this work. Yeah. Is that possible to be automated in some fashion or the other? Like that constant sort of reflection on do I keep doing this or is there an easier way to do it? Yeah. Is something that everybody should be doing. And everybody should also have an opinion on what is the best version of this work. Right? So for example, when you're reaching out to somebody, I would love to like reference some of your ads. I would love to show you samples of how my product would work on your ads. All of that stuff is something that we always knew we wanted to do. Yeah. But we didn't know how. Right? Doing it manually was like obviously not scalable. Yeah. But we did it anyway. And we saw that, okay, this works. Now we were waiting for something that would allow us to make that in an automated fashion. Now we can. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like people think of fully automating all of their workflows. I don't think people should do that. I think the human touch is useful. Yeah. But there are parts of that human touch which were impossible to be done at scale. Yeah. That is the part that I would sort of find help in AI. Yeah, I think that is perfect, and I think that is where a lot of people are confused at this point. Yeah. But yeah, I think that is the perfect explanation. Like the marketing story as well, right? Telling a good story is something that a marketer still has to do. Yeah. Now you just are able to tell that story in a very high production way at a much lower cost. Like that is the only thing that the AI is helping you with. Correct. Yeah. It's currently, and we will know tonight after GPT-5 launches, like currently, at least as of today, it's not possible for AI to like be that creative, like get it right so well that you don't even need somebody to figure out what to make. But even if that happens, right, it's game theory. Everybody then has that AI. Yeah. So then you'll have to build alpha on top. So the bar for what is interesting keeps going up with tools. Like now that everybody has VO3, the bar for production quality has gone up.
Exactly, yeah.
But you still need a marketer who will push this to the absolute limit to tell a better story. So I don't think I'm afraid of, as of this moment, afraid of like
it might
some
change
of this stuff.
this night
Yeah,
tonight.
it might change in a few hours, but
yeah.
as of now, at least, doesn't feel like it's going away.
That's so cool. And okay, you are an angel investor. You've been a product leader. You've mentored a lot of product managers. What advice do you have for product managers who would want to be founders?
Product managers who want to be founders, I think it's a good transition. Like I feel like if you've been a good PM, you've honestly trained on the most important skill that you need, which is to seek truth. That's what I was sort of forcing my PMs to train on. That can you relentlessly seek truth, and can you fearlessly say it out loud?
Yeah.
Right. So if you're doing this really well, you will transition very well into the founder role. Because a large part of 0 to 1 is truth seeking. And it's very difficult to do.
What you call root cause analysis, probably.
No, it's just like, does this thing work? Like, is this the right person that I'm selling into? I think the biggest failures happen when you get stuck in delusion, where you're not able to truthfully say that this is not working. I need to try something else. But as a PM, you have now developed muscles that are allowing you to essentially be very okay with like this is not working.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So I feel like any job, and like I'm saying PM, but any job that has trained you to like relentlessly seek truth and say it out loud, both to yourself and to like other people, is a great job to transition into like the founder role. So I feel like it's more of a personality thing rather than a job function thing. Anybody can behave this way, which is why PMs get hired from all over the place. Like you can be an engineer, you can be anyone who can transition into that role.
Correct.
Apart from that, the curiosity.
You need to have that muscle, right?
Yes, the curiosity muscle is also needed. Like you can, truth seeking won't happen if you're not inherently a curious person.
Correct, yeah.
So all those traits in a good PM transition very well.
Yeah.
But of course, on top of that, you need a bit of delusion, a bit of like ability to suppress reality for a while.
Yeah. That's for sure. And I think like another thing that you mentioned early on was seeking those connections who'll make for the connections and relationship for you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Actually, even that skill transitions really well because as a PM, like it's a very relationship driven role. Like you're doing it inside the org.
Correct. Yeah.
But
and like if you're talking to customers daily, then that's
you're talking to users, you're talking to like other people in the company. You're essentially like trying to ensure that everybody understands why we are doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like the primary role of the PM is to ensure that the company is working on the right problem. Everything else is just chore. Like writing PRD, looking at data, all of that are chores that you're doing.
Which now AI can help with.
Which AI can now fast forward very quickly. So, but the core job has not changed. Correct, you need somebody who is ensuring that everyone is working on the right problem. Right? You can be extremely productive as a company, but if you're working on the wrong problem, nothing moves. And I can tell you that with my own personal experience in Segwise, where for the first 18 months, nothing worked. And suddenly for the last 4 months, everything is working. Right? So I think that's the role of a PM, where you have to constantly not get deterred by like, okay, this is not true. That's fine. Let's move on to the next thing. So you treat it like an experiment.
Okay.
And that trait is like super useful. And the connections that your ability to make connections with people is also like really helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, that's why I think that PM transition is helpful. But there are other roles like salespeople transition really well into founders.
Okay.
Engineers translate very well into founders, especially if the product is technical.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a job function thing, but I do believe that a good PM should have a lot of overlap with like an early stage founder.
No, I think that is
skills-wise.
Amazing. Yeah. I think that is an amazing advice and overview of like what you've seen in terms of the transition happen, right? So thank you for that. Now let's do a quick rapid fire, a fun,
Okay.
I would say, a fun rapid fire round. So tell me one AI tool that you use daily.
I don't know if I want to use it daily,
Okay.
but at least use it few times a week.
Okay.
I really like Lovable.
Okay.
I feel like it has unlocked, especially for semi-technical and non-technical people.
Yeah.
It has unlocked the ability to create products, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Because again, I was always a PM. One way in which you can sort of truth seek or ensure that you are working on the right problem is that you test a very small version of that problem. But before that, we had to be dependent on like other people to help you out.
Exactly.
Now you don't need to. You can make
those
something up.
cycles are much faster.
The cycles are much faster.
Yeah.
You can be a lot more confident that this is the right problem. So I really like Lovable.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Okay, so cool. Okay, second question: a book or podcast that shaped your thinking?
There's a book called Radical Candor.
Okay.
It's actually a book about managing people. And I think, yeah, it's. I don't remember the author, unfortunately. Yeah. But the book is Radical Candor, and it's amazing. All of the ways in which I manage people actually comes broadly from that book.
Oh, amazing. Awesome. Yeah, no, I have read that. It's amazing. Cool. Third question: your go-to productivity hack.
Oh, yeah. I don't follow this as much as I should, but whenever I do, it works really well.
Okay.
I feel that everyone should have a monthly, weekly, and daily goal.
Okay.
To ensure that you're working on the most important thing that can propel you, your company, whatever it is that you're trying to propel.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like the biggest sort of loss that happens is when you've done weeks of work and then you look back and say, this wasn't even the most important thing that I should have worked on. So it's almost like a monthly check-in saying, okay, what do I want to work on? Like if I had to get only 5 things done this month, what are they? Okay. Then every week you do the same thing, saying, okay, if I had to do just 5 things this week, what are they? And every day it becomes, if I had to do only one thing today, what is that one thing? Yeah. Where you feel happy that you feel a lot more productive. Yeah. And one feels like a very small thing. But if you do 30 very useful things in a month, it really adds up and compounds very quickly. For sure. Yeah. And just this nudge to check in to ensure that you're working on something that is actually important has been like very helpful whenever I do it. Okay. It's very hard to do, unfortunately, for like some people. But whenever you do it, I think it'll give you like better outcomes. Got it. Yeah, I think very valuable. I'll try it out. I haven't thought of it in that way. Thank you for sharing. And then final question, one piece of advice you'd give your younger self? I wouldn't change much. Like, I think my younger self did all the right things to get me where I am here. Yeah. So one of the things that I would sort of tell my younger self is that there's a point at which you need to transition from being the angry young person to like the person who is the calm, sort of like composed, articulate person. Because when you're young and people appreciate that you're breaking things, you're just going for it, and you're entirely incentivized to be high agency, right? Your agency is worth a lot more. Like I want this person to be like the angry young person, right? Like that's the troublemaker. Yeah, it's okay. It's great. Like as long as your intentions are like good, correct, people will respect that. Yeah. But there'll be this one point in your career where you have to flip. And somebody has to intervene and tell you exactly now you have to flip. I feel like I could go back in time and tell myself that I should have flipped maybe a year or two sooner. Okay. I felt like I held on to that angry young person persona for a year or two longer. Yeah. And that transition into like where I should have been happened a little later. But yeah, that's one thing that most people, this is also the one thing that prevents people from transitioning into management. Okay. in a better way into a leadership role. Because all through your young career, people have told you, this is great, this is great, this is great. Like, you should be more like this, you should be more like this. And suddenly that's the thing that is holding you back from leveling up, right? Where you have to think about the bigger picture. Maybe saying that somebody is wrong is not the right move. Because yes, of course, they're saying something that is wrong. But how you deliver it, when you deliver it, all starts mattering to be a good leader.
Got it.
But as a young person, it's highly like accepted and valued if a young person is walking into a room full of people and saying, I don't think I agree with this. So it's that weird transition that needs to happen, which I feel like a lot of young people find difficult. But if there was a magical way in which I could retrospectively go back, I know the exact day in which I would I should have like transitioned.
Maybe that's a story off camera.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think those are some really cool insights that you've shared with us, Brijesh. And thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No, this was fun.
Yeah, thank you. And then awarding us your candor, as you said, and radically. So thank you. And thanks for making our listeners more wiser, whether they are product managers, founders, or AI enthusiasts. So thank you.
No, I really hope this is useful to more people. I hope India produces more founders.
Exactly.
I really hope that we sort of double down on this era where something is dramatically changing almost every month.
Exactly.
It's the greatest time to sort of build companies. And I really hope even if one person watches this and becomes a founder, it's a great outcome.
Yes, for sure. Thank you again.
Awesome.